Hi, everybody. Welcome to another round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB, donned in the red because Huston Street has joined us of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Houston, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to be with us.
Yeah, thanks. This is cool. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we know the fans are firing up their webcams. We will get them in line and get them stoked to be a part of the show. Before we do that, though, we'll go to social media. We'll go to Twitter. And because his name is so awesome, he gets the first question. It's Obi-Wan Jacoby, 92. Is it hard to learn the AL hitters again?
I think the benefit is actually for me. I think it's hard for them to learn me. As a pitcher, you know where you're throwing the ball. You know how your stuff moves. Scouting reports are scouting reports, but so much of what I do in particular for me as a pitcher is trying to hit my spots and pitch my game to my strengths. So I think in the short run, actually, the advantage is to the pitcher. And then once they make the adjustments, I think then it becomes obviously more of a level playing field. But it's just kind of like the beginning of spring training. The advantage in the beginning of a season, the advantages to the pitchers.
All right. Well, there you have it. This is Huston Street, the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Fan joins us in the cage. He's going to toss out the next one. What's your name, where you're from? What's your question for Houston?
I'm Nick. I'm from Yorba Linda, California, just right down the street from Main Stadium. And Houston, hey, welcome to the Angels from San Diego. You're a great addition, I'm telling you. My question to you is really an important one to me for a variety of reasons. One thing is, when you're a hitter or from the bullpen, in your perspective, when you're waiting around and you're a DH hitter, what I'm trying to say is, when you're a DH, you're trying to keep that mindset of trying to hit, sitting and you're watching the game. When you're a closer and you sit and you wait 8 innings, then you know that your mindset is, I'm going to come in here and shut the game down against, well, right behind you is one of the best teams in baseball, the Dodgers. You might have to come in and have Puig, Gonzalez, Kemp right then and there. What is your mindset throughout the game, and then once you get out there, that leads you to be so successful in the major leagues?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's all about process, and therefore you're not waiting 8 innings. You're actually waiting half-inning intervals by creating a process that gets you through most of that game and really gets you through a lot of that anxiousness. None of us are impervious to that feeling of excitement, of anxiety, and really it's a thrill. It's adrenaline. My guess is Mariano Rivera probably felt it on his his last save, his last outing. You use that to help you, but when you develop a process that gets you through the first inning, the second inning, the third inning, and if you want to even take it further, a process for showing up to the field at a certain time and going through a certain routine, that's what allows you to get through the hitters. And then once you actually get out on the mound, like I said in my first answer, so much of it for me is just executing what I want to do and then letting the results take care of themselves.
All right, that's a great insight into the process it takes to be successful at the major league level. Huston Street answering questions here in the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Another fan joins us. What's your name? Where you're from? What is your question?
Hey, Houston. Hey, guys. My name is Charlie from New Jersey. I'm a huge fan. Thanks for doing so well on my fantasy team this year. What is the funniest moment you've ever had in your baseball career?
Funniest moment? That's a tough question. Probably my first outing. I was in Baltimore. I'm on the mound. I'm 21 years old. And you want to tell yourself that you have everything together, that you have your brain locked in. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. And I look over, and I see my teammates in the way the bullpen's situated. They're sitting over here, and they're all laughing. And I'm wondering why they're laughing at me. And they're like, hey, man, you nervous? I'm like, no, I ain't nervous. I'm trying to play it off. And go to take a sip of water, and when I pick up my water, my hand is shaking. And I realized, and I took the water and threw the water down on the ground. And that was probably the moment when I realized, all right, I am in the big leagues, and it's okay to be nervous. But that's one of my favorite moments. It just happened to be one of my first ones.
That's phenomenal. That's a great story, a little insight into the long career that you've had thus far, that your actual hand was shaking and you discovered that by accident.
It was. Yeah, well, they were laughing pretty hard. So
that's good teammates right there.
Yes.
We go back to Twitter now. After that, that was a great question, Charlie. Thanks for joining us on that one. This is from Baseball Facts 52. I always love this one. It puts you in a little bit of a spot, but not too much. Who's the only player on your team, your current team, obviously the Angels, that you would hate to face?
Only player I would hate to face. There's a lot of them I wouldn't enjoy facing. Someone's throwing baseballs at me from the background. I would say Albert Pujols maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Pujols. I got ahead of Albert 0-2 in one at bat in Colorado, and I threw him what I thought was to be one of my best sliders I've ever thrown, and he hit a double down the line. Now, Josh Hamilton will tell you the first pitch he ever saw of me was a home run to dead center. So I'm happy I'm on this team because my teammates actually have pretty good success against me. Ibar's got a few hits. Howard Kendricks I know he blew a save for me on a sac fly to right. So I'm excited to be. What are these guys doing back? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's Puig. He's going to be up to something. We know that. Good player behind me right there.
We're about to have a Channing Cage moment, no doubt, if Puig is around and watching this go down. That's it. That's a pretty good deal to get traded.
Hey, what are you doing? You're interrupting, man. What are you doing? How you doing? Doing good. Yeah, good. You? Good to see you, man.
I love it. Dude. We could not ask for more. This is exactly what we want to have. And you there see it. This is the camaraderie in the major leagues. But I was going to say, Houston, that's kind of great to get traded to a team where it's great to have those guys backing you up, and they had some success off you. That's like a double-edged sword. That's a good deal.
Yeah, take all the guys with success, put them on one team, and then let me go play for that team. It's a strategy right there.
That's a good strategy, and it's worked out pretty well for you. I want to ask you something along the lines. Now, this is you've now navigated almost the entire West Coast, playing out west for a long time, and you obviously go to a new team, and as we said, there's a lot of new guys behind you. But you've had success in different environments, in different situations, at different altitudes. What's kept you sort of on track to keep, when things have gotten bumpy, to come back, to not get complacent, to find a new way to succeed in a new location?
Absolutely, and things have gotten bumpy for me, and I think that those are the moments that make you really dig into your career, your repertoire of pitches. Why? You have to ask yourself why. There's a reason for when the ball's flying out of the ballpark, like it was last year. Even 2013 is a great example of a year where it ended at the end of the year. It was a phenomenal year for me because of everything that happened in the beginning and really having to persevere. But, a lot of times you get through those things by asking advice, asking for help. I was thankful, and last year especially, to have Bud Black and Darren Balsley and Willie Blair, Trevor Hoffman, 4 guys who, what do you see? What are you doing? Because, it's those troublesome moments where I call it like being in a bad relationship. You can't actually see the problem when you're in the middle of it, and it takes someone from the outside to say, hey, dude, you got to change this, or you got to do this. And that's what I did. And it was Darren Balsley in the outfield and Willie Blair before innings saying, keep the ball down or get the ball more out front. Trevor talking to me about pace out on the mound and really focusing pitch to pitch. Buddy Black just continuing to give me the show confidence by sending me back out there. A lot of a career is, especially for a closer, is the result of a lot of other people's efforts. I'm just making one pitch at a time, as I say all the time. But more than anything, for me personally, is you have to continue to search, and when you find something that works, stick with it. Don't try to figure out why it's working. Just stick with it. And that's why I've been eating a lot of donuts this year, because they're shaped like a zero, and so I eat a donut to try to know. I'm just kidding. That's not the secret to success. I'm just trying to get a donut deal.
It's not bad. I like the way you worked it out. It was very thoughtful and insightful, and then tag it with a donut.
To be completely honest, Trevor Hoffman gave me the idea. We were talking. I said, Trev, what do you do? What makes you so successful? And he's like, hey, man, do things that are shaped like zeros. I mean, I don't know. He was like, I'm not trying to figure out. Hoffy was a pretty funny dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I put on a couple extra LBs, but it's okay.
It's working out all right. We have another fan join us in the cage with the next pitch. What's your name? Where are you from? What's your question for Huston Street?
Hey, I'm Nick Penny from Raleigh, North Carolina. Always love hearing about the minors. So my question is, what's your what's your best and worst minor league memory?
Oh, goodness. I got to work on answering that question without getting blown up by my teammates. The minor leagues is probably my best stories is when I've gone back for rehabs. When, the guys you'll walk in, as soon as you walk in, you got some single A dude busting your chops saying, hey, what's for dinner? Are we getting Ruth's Chris, or what are we getting? I think the minor leagues is a great place where it's kind of an extension of high school or college baseball. Probably one of my worst memories in the minor leagues was going down there, and you're trying to be a big leaguer. You're trying to give these guys advice. You're trying to show them the right way. At the same time, you're usually starting, so you're taking someone else's start. And so I want to go down there, and the guy comes to me and he says, "Hey man, we're going. So and so's going for his 10th win, so we want to try to, we'll give you the first inning, and he only has to throw 4 innings for a win." And I give up a 5 spot in the first inning, or a 4 spot in the first inning. So this guy has no chance for a win. It's August. It's like the end of their season, and I think that was probably my most disappointing moment. Was kind of you go down there and you're trying to get your work in, but you're also playing on a team.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, dude? D. Gordon showing me his pretty smile. Hey, don't steal today. So, no, that's what this game is about. This game is about relationships, and that was a moment where I let somebody down, and I actually felt bad about it. And it sticks with you.
Well, it sure does. I mean, that is great. As you talk about trying to suggest that D. Gordon not steal bases against you guys, I like that as well. It's a great game, and there's a lot of relationships and players.
It would be a huge help. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we are here in the Edward Jones chatting cage. Huston Street and several Dodgers are popping in. So we'll see where this one leads us.
Yep.
We got fans getting their webcams fired up to be a part of the conversation, because that is the big part of what's going on. And we got a fan right now. All right, bud, what's your name? Where are you from? What's your question for Houston?
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Hi. My name is Aaron.
Hello.
I'm from Los Angeles. And my question is, what's the strangest moment you've ever had in your career?
Strangest.
Yeah, like
actually, that happened. It happened this year, and a lot of times people ask that question in a different version. They say, "What's the craziest autograph you've signed?" And actually, at the All-Star game, I was down the left field line, and apparently, one of the kids there had just lost a tooth, and thought it would be perfect to commemorate the moment by asking. I was the nearest player. Don't think I was the first choice, but. To commemorate that moment by, will you sign my tooth? I wasn't quite sure how to do this. I didn't know how to handle the tooth. It's a little bitty thing. It's really only big enough for an initials. It was like probably an incisor. It wasn't a front tooth or something. But that was the strangest, hands down the strangest moment I've ever had in baseball. And it was this year at the All-Star game. But I tried to sign the tooth.
Nicely done. Well, that's a way to be a fan's player. We appreciate that. And I know you can't see the program feed, but that questionaire's younger brother or sister was in the back just waving an American flag. So that was a good story to tell right there. That was an all-star moment.
Oh, really?
And we're done. We're all finished. That's how you wrap the weirdest one up, folks. That was Huston Street. We're all finished. See you later on the next Edward Jones Chatting Cage.